Hello and welcome to Full Focus, where law and news intersect. I'm Crystal Parham. Today we're here with Walter Hawk Newsom. He is a social innovator and founder of Standard Civic Association. And he's here today to talk to us about Black Lives Matter and the Donald Trump effect. Hello, Walter Hawk Newsom.
Hey, Chris.
Welcome to
How
the
are
show.
You? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So you're a social activist, Black Lives Matter activist. Why do you do this, and why is that important to you?
I always talk about the armchair revolutionary, right? That's the person who sits at home and complains when Eric Gardner dies or Trayvon Martin is shot and killed. That's the person that sits at home, complains, they tell their wife, they tell their kids, they tell everyone, but they don't actually get out there and do anything. So God blessed me with the ability to communicate. He gave me these gifts, right? So I feel like it's my obligation to go back and help the community and fight for those people who don't have a voice and try and inspire others to get out there and do the same.
What do you think the state of the racial tensions is right now in the United States? I mean, with Donald Trump running, he's spilling this rhetoric of just hatred and separation. And how do you see that as an activist? Do you think we need to pull together more? Do you think we need to fight against it? I mean, there are protesters that are going to his rallies. Do you think that's effective?
I was one of them, actually.
Tell me about your experience as a protester.
We had an action, which is what we call protest. We had an action down at Columbus Circle. You may have heard about it here in New York City a few months ago. And, you know, we were protesting. Everything was going peacefully. And what the NYPD does is they try to corral you in the way that you want to go. However, these are New York City streets. You can walk wherever you want to as long as you're crossing with the light. So I'm out front. There's about maybe 500 or 600 people with me. And I
Part of your group?
Part of the group. But when you have a person like Donald Trump, you he enrages a lot of people, right? So you get people from all over who are organizers, who are protesters, who are armchair revolutionaries who Donald Trump inspired enough to get out there and do something, right?
And you guys are peaceful. You're not going there to cause any problems,
not at
right?
all. Not at all. However, a lot of times the media will film the person who is the rowdiest just for effect, and that's just the way it goes, right? So we're trying to cross the street, and the police stop us. They say, you can't cross. I'm like, sir, I'm crossing with the light. Okay.
You had the light.
I have the light. Let me cross on the Fifth Avenue so I can go to Trump. That's where we're going, to Trump Towers. And he said no, and he started pushing back. But by the time he did this, there's 600 people behind me. I can't go anywhere.
So he was pushing you.
Yeah, he was pushing me back. You know, he was pushing me back. Then his cop, I have a picture of it. There's this bunch of cops who come and start pushing behind him. So now they're pushing me and the other people who are on the front line with me, and there's no way we could go because there's 600 people behind us, right? So then things get nasty. They start, you know, elbowing and pushing. One cop grabs my jacket, right, as if he's pulling me down and shoots me a little sucker punch to the face, right? And I'm like, why would you do that? That's the most cowardly thing you could do. Hey, if you want to fight, we can meet at a gym. Like, we could drop titles and we could, you know, mix it up a little bit. But don't do that. Don't abuse your power. Nothing pisses me off more than a bully, you know? Like, why abuse your power? So they did that. They pushed us back on the sidewalk. We're like, okay, fine, we'll go another route. We'll keep it peaceful. But now they're pepper spraying people. There's a young woman.
And you're doing nothing.
Nothing at all. They pepper sprayed a blind woman out there that day. You know, it was sad. And the problem is that it's not all police. It's some of these police officers that are truly high on power, right?
Yes.
And they like that conflict. They like action, right?
So let's talk about your organization now.
Okay.
'Cause you talk about wanting to give back and wanting to set an example. What is your organization and what exactly do you do?
The Standard Civic Association is an organization based in community empowerment. Now, I was very...
What do you mean by that, community
empowerment? It's strengthening people to overcome their circumstances. Our focus are youth, kids anywhere from 10 to 22, right? And the mothers. The youth.
Why the mothers?
The mothers, because the mother is the backbone of the household. The woman is the backbone of society. And if you are able to change the minds of mothers or to enable the mothers, right, empower the mothers, then you empower that household. Okay, so we have programs in the play, and literally we just started this in February. And it was in response to the Black Lives Matter movement. I was heavily involved. But what did I keep hearing from the critics? Well, what are you doing in your community? So I was like, there are 1,000 organizations. So I thought, what could we do different? So I came together with a group of brothers and sisters who are executives, who are killing it in their fields, right? But who are down for the people, down for positive change. So every week we sit and we brainstorm on how can we change lives in our community? How can we create a blueprint that will work for our people? When I say our people, I mean Black, Latino, I mean whites, I mean everybody who's oppressed, who has the so-called man's foot on their throat. I'm trying to help them improve their circumstances.
Because it's not only people of color. It could be anyone that's just down on their luck, that just feels like it's them against the world.
Exactly.
That's
and
great.
Maybe if they had like a hand up, they could do better. A good friend of mine always said, if you knew better, you'll do better, right? So we're trying to teach them better ways to get things done.
That's fantastic.
And,
what are some of the initiatives you've started recently?
We just had a forum. We partnered with New York Life. My sister Vonnie, she's kind of a big deal down there, and she was able to bring them aboard. So we had a forum called "Is College Worth It?" And we brought professionals in. We had lawyers for high-powered entertainment lawyers. I can't say names, but like Rihanna's lawyer, Kanye West. You know what I mean? We had a young man from Sneaker Pawn in Harlem. He and his son owned the business. His son was on Forbes 30 Under 30. Okay. We had a good friend of mine named Lamont Belton. He won 2 Emmy Awards for shows he produced. Okay. So we have very impactful people from similar circumstances coming in telling these kids, hey, here's how you do it. Do you need college? Yes. Or maybe you don't need college. No, right? But you should have a plan, and here's how you get it done. So initiatives like that. So financial literacy. No one tells our people about money. Our people need to know how to spend, how to conserve their money. Okay, I'm not saying I have all the answers, but what I'm saying is I'm going to work hard, use my resources, and find people who know how to get this done and bring them to my communities. So right now we're targeting the South Bronx, Highbridge, Morrisania, my hood, and East New York, where a few of the brothers are from. Okay?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So if people want to learn more about your organization, how do they do that?
Definitely. You can go to the Standard Civic Association on Facebook. That's our Facebook page, the Standard Civic Association. We're also on Instagram at Standard Civic Association, and we're relatively new, so there's not much there, but you'll be able to grow with us and progress and see how we're coming along.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back on the show, maybe during your event to
Thank you.
discuss. Maybe we can come on location and film a little bit.
That'd be awesome.
You
That'd be
know,
awesome. That'd
and
be awesome.
And I'd like to have you back on the show.
Yes, indeed. And we have to partner up and do a segment, do a forum called "What to Do and Stop by the Police."
Yeah,
we
would
can
be
teach
great.
our youth how to respond to when they're
That
encountered by
that
the
would be
police.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll talk about that.
Sister.
Okay, that wraps up this edition of Full Focus. Thank you for joining us and continuing in this very interesting conversation with Hawk Newsome. Until next time, I'm Crystal Parham. Thank you.